Hello, beautiful beings. Oh, I hope you're doing good out there or in here. It's quite rich times that we are moving through in a quite a literal way. Really, a lot of digestion of what we've experienced as humans thus far. A lot of sifting occurring, sifting through everything we're seeing, everything that we're giving our attention to, and as the our sight is expanding, there's even more to digest, more to sift through, and it seems like even when there are these expansions of like getting up for air, there can also be these contractions, and the contractions can intensify with the expansions intensifying, and then it can like speed up even, and it could just feel really intense and disorienting and challenging and painful, and our body is digesting all of this as we come deeper into the body, as our true essence, our authentic essence is settling into the body and clearing out which is what not resonant with that of what you are. And so even with all this, there's a strength that's cultivating, and there's a clarity that's coming in beyond the mind. Today I was like walking around, I'm like, oh my God, like these pulses and this digestion, and like it's just like, ah! And like, but oddly, like, can't really describe in words, but there's this clarity and strength that has like never before settling into my body. And so this is like a little speck of light nugget because I'm just now coming through a few more waves of that digestion process, and that's all I'm going to share about that, is that there's a reason for it all. Everything gets repurposed, and everything has purpose. And even when it doesn't look like that, us valuing that as truth allows our attention to fuel into that as truth, creating more solidity in it. So this is like the gift in being a co-creator, and also what is challenging. We may not see things as truth, and it's up to us to fuel our attention to what we wish to be true. This is like an actual natural process that we go through as co-creator beings, speeding up with the polarity, duality, the overwhelm of anything is possible, the mind, the sifting. It's like all a process of expansion and evolution our souls are going through. And so if you're in it and you're in a contraction, I just want you to know that it's all going to be okay. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not alone. There's a reason you're going through everything you're going through, and it will clarify, it will make sense, but without you trying to make sense of it. It's a predestined, designed plan, and it's okay for you to experience everything you're experiencing. Even the self-doubt, the shame, the guilt, the blame, like all of it, the overwhelm, the maybe momentary glimpses of like, oh my God, lack of resources, like it getting worse maybe at times, just feeling like, oh my God, this is just getting worse. Like all those moments, it all gets repurposed, meaning it all has purpose. All your experiences turn into organic, raw material that you get to relate with people through, and you get to create art with it. You get to lead with it through the strength that you've cultivated. And there's a timing to things beyond what our mind wants to micromanage with time. I wasn't planning on saying any of that, but that's what feels really raw and real to share. And before we continue to why it's so important for us to play with being barbaric during these times. Before we move into that, I would like to share highlighting the note on it all turns into your raw organic material that you create with and share through. So, as like a sensitive being, soul, old soul, however you want to call it, we were brought up in these programs of like the same thing, people pleasing, like caring for others' experiences, empathing all that people aren't digesting and transmuting, and like making sure that like as peacemakers everybody's okay, everybody's taken care of, we have infinite light coming through us, so why not, like I'll just take care of me when the time is right, I'll just care for everyone else. And this has created a lot of unconscious repression patterns where we repress ourselves, and because of our gift being our Achilles heel as well, it's our weakness also. So now that the world, the planet is going through a shift and structures are falling apart, there isn't even that thing to maintain anymore. Like our role is changing. The part we play in the playground of life is changing. And that change is from being the one that is disabled, has the disorder, has the overly sensitive disease, has the um, one that doesn't fit in, the black sheep, all that narrative is changing into you being the one that paves the way for others going through this falling apart of old structures. You are that structure birther. You are the pave maker, the pave carver. You're carving the path through your own beingness, and this cannot happen if we're thinking about other people being triggered, taking care of like others' emotions, processing their emotions and shrinking ourselves so we won't trigger them or make them uncomfortable. There's no space for that in the new part that you're playing. The new part that you're playing is to see what's happening in the field and speak to it. Express it. It's to express every time, the dog is barking now, every time that pattern of repression comes in, it's to express, to allow the field to be triggered. And when it is triggered, not taking it on, but to even speak to the trigger that's being triggered in the field. So this is like kind of high level ninja shit. And in a way, it's really scary and hard and challenging to shift that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna die and kill myself and evaporate because I'm just making everybody uncomfortable. It's like not doing that, more repression, and actually going farther out with our expression, using it all as raw, organic material we speak to, seeing it as like, oh, this is what's happening in the field. The moment we think we need to take it on as though we're bad, we're too much, whatever that story is, you're evil, all that, it won't even, it's like you're not playing the part that you're meant to play anymore. It's like not even good for them because you repressing yourself is like a part of the body saying like, oh, hand, I don't need you. Like, go away. Like, you are that ligament that they need. Like, their level of trigger is actually a child crying for help. So if we play with shifting our perspective of our self-perception. Can you play with how you perceive yourself in this planetary shift right now? Can you play with shifting your role that you play? Play with how you see yourself. We each have a way that we see ourselves internally. Can you close your eyes for a moment and play with like, what if now your role is shifting? What if nothing was ever wrong with you? What if the planet wasn't ready for you? And what if all that, them not being ready for you, was the time that you collected and gathered what you are here to shine light upon, what you are here to pave the way through and with? Now all that turns into raw organic material that you lead with. What if you were courageous enough to forget who you were going into these programs so you can lead the way, you can lead the people through it into your natural home base with your sensitivity. What if your sensitivity is your superpower? And what if people are ready for it now? And what would it be like to shift your perception from the one with a disorder, whatever you think of it, like, oh, I have, what is it called? I don't even know. ADHD, and there are all these names, these new names also of like, oh, I have this. Now I can fit into that old system. It's like, no. What if you give your attention to seeing yourself rather than what's disabled with you, in terms of like, what if you can enable those things as a gift to your environment? And this isn't about becoming famous. It's not about getting well known. It's not about getting likes. This is about you allowing you, which is a cell of the collective body, to operate as you're naturally designed to, without identifying with the story of the past, without identifying to how others perceive you, without needing to caretake what other people perceive, how other people perceive you, without needing that addiction to validation. Can you detox from that and allow the validation to be you feeling safe and expressed in your body as a soul, fully giving permission in your body to express yourself as creation is expressing itself through you, without needing to calcify that validation addiction, with letting people be moved by you, with letting people be touched and triggered and have those traumas triggered, and you speaking to that. Can you feel yourself feeling yourself as that? Can you play with seeing yourself as that? And how does that feel in your body? Does it feel relieving? If it does, it's because it's true. Truth feels relieving. It feels relaxing. Your body's like, oh, okay, they're in alignment. Okay, I could see clearly. So without needing to mentally process whether that's true or not, we don't need to do that. The body's relief is the confirmation that it's true. Oh, I feel relief. Okay, I'm on the path of truth now. So bask in that relief. Bask in that permission slip that you're giving to your body to allow more of your soul light through. So all of it is material we get to respond to, create with, lead with. It's time to play with a different kind of role. And that's what the people are actually calling in. And that strength comes from within you, from creation. It's getting that plug, unplugging it from horizontal addiction of validation into beyond the mind, plugging into source, getting your internal sourcing of light. And so this is why playing with being barbaric is so important, because this is really what I've been experiencing. Like, why do I feel like I'm getting more and more barbaric? Like, what is this even feeling of feeling like I look barbaric, like I'm acting barbaric, like people see me as barbaric? What is this barbaric nature that I'm like feeling like I'm like literally embodying this barbarian? And as I was playing with it and like being like, what if I'm more barbaric? Like, what is this like? And so a little background of like how it started waking up was I traveled to a different location where it was a lot more repressed, or like being a better person energy, like people just coming out of like Catholic church programming. And I met a friend actually that we used to express a lot together, and I saw what she absorbed from the land, which was like a lot of like, don't do that, like don't pee on the trail, or like don't get naked in the water. And I was starting to feel where I came from originally, like my childhood of how repressed I was. And I started feeling like this barbaricness coming out of me because it was a new location. People are a lot more polite, like sweet. There's a sweetness to it, but then it was like this barbaric thing coming out of me. I started feeling this rage that I was like, why am I so enraged on this land? And it started turning into core rage, my core rage, our core rage, courage to be barbaric enough to break and detox from these patterns that have turned into cages. So when we play out a pattern over and over and over, a way of behaving, we repeat the pattern, repeat the pattern, repeat the pattern, it solidifies into a metal bar. And so any pattern that's played for too long turns into a cage. That's why play is so important. It's like soul health. I'm just going to play with shifting a pattern. I'm going to play with drinking coffee after my meditation rather than before, like my meditation, right? So when we play with patterns, it keeps enough malleability for the soul to feel like it can play in this realm, like it could be liberated. So anything can turn into a cage. Health practice can turn into a cage that's stifling your soul, which eventually turns into an injury, right? That forces you to shift the pattern. We're here to play. We're here to be liberated. And so playing with this barbaricness, this rage, I found was helping me detox from these patterns in the environment through owning that I'm just going to play with being barbaric. Now, people watching this video that aren't resonant with this message might think, oh, that's dangerous. Like, think of all, I get comments like that. Like, what about the perverts? What about the abusers? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking to the being that gets what I'm talking about. Of like this being this people pleaser, good person that already knows how to be a good person, that's already empathic, that already knows that we're all one, that already cares deeply for people, that wants to support, that naturally wants to help ever since you were a child. Those are the people I'm speaking to. Okay? So even in our own mind, if like, whoa, what will that lead to? I'll be a monster, I'll be a narcissist, I'll hurt people. You already know how to do all the good things. So let's play with the barbaric energy for a second. In our root chakra, the root, like a lot of sensitive beings that know oneness and care, we tend to hover in this area in the mind and the heart and just here, right? And we weren't fully allowed to be our full sensitive soul in our root, in our home base, in the house we're born into, in the culture we were born into. It was all about repressing. And so we went up to the upper energy centers and just were flying in the etheric plane, being dissociated from the body. And now is the time to play a different role of getting into the root, into the body, paving the way. We got to get to the root. And so as we're getting our soul into our root, it's almost like such a clash with some of the environments we're in that it could almost say the narrative like, oh, that's barbaric. That's dangerous. That's like so inhumane. Where it's like, actually, I just want to pee on a tree. Nobody's looking. Nobody's around. I think it's healthy for trees and us to share our fluids with trees, right? Like, so this belief that, oh, I don't want to be barbaric, saying I'm just going to play with being barbaric, I'm just going to play. Like, hey, mind, you're okay. You're safe. I'm just playing with being a barbaric character. It unlocks our root treasures. It unlocks what's in our DNA that knows how to operate with nature in health, wealth states. Being in that barbaric nature, naked in nature, there's so much technology that's considered barbaric that's been repressed. When I'm naked in nature in the desert, my skin starts dialoguing with the elements and I feel at one with everything. And the sun and the breeze, it knows exactly what to do with my skin organ. It's the biggest organ in our body. And it's the number one way to actually heal the body, I believe, is actually to be naked in nature. And so that's considered barbaric, right? So this is an example of what, if we're in cultures that are repressive right now, in environments that are repressive, playing with being barbaric for snippets of time, like, I'm going to be topless in my backyard, even if the neighbor looks, right? It's like to think that our health and wealth states are considered barbaric. Can you feel that rage of the repression that we're born into? And how it's keeping us looped in thinking something's wrong with us, like you're gonna get arrested for being naked, like you're gonna piss in public, you're gonna be arrested, like all those things where our minds can go to the extreme of like, what are you gonna end up like, the homeless person that's like just totally psychotic? No, they're very elegant ways to be barbaric again. It's like unveiling the technology with nature that we have in our DNA that knows how to operate with nature, that is in natural health and wealth because we're connected to everything. Detoxing from this production machine of products that are solid until they die. It's like, no, we're here to play. We're here to play with nature. We're here to play with the internal technologies that we have in our DNA. And so rather than tiptoeing around sneak peeks of this and learning from others, there's a point where we got to be courageous enough to unveil the rage of the levels of oppression we were born into. And so a wonderful way to detox from these enslavement programs of repression in prisons is to play with being barbaric. I'm just going to be barbaric. And once we start playing with that, we might even go through detoxing programs of like, oh, others think I'm barbaric. My friend thinks I'm barbaric. I even look barbaric when I look in the mirror. And letting that move through too. Let that detox. Again, this is like a very unlinear transmission because life isn't linear and life evolution is not linear. But if you've watched till now, can you feel the frequency of either relief, clarity, resonance? So that's a little tool to play with, is play with being barbaric. Play with how you perceive yourself, whether that's being the worst case scenario, which is barbaric, or the, wow, I'm paving the way of liberation for all beings. My part as being barbaric is actually being a leader. So my friend asked me, she's like, well, how do you know in what cultures like it's respectful or honorable? Like, you'll know. Can we download to you from Creator that you know when and how to pave the way in your authentic way, no matter what people see you as, in a way that you are supported, you are safe, you are nourished, and you're still connected to all that is. Would you like that download? Say yes. Would you like the download that you have discernment, that you know when is the time to express, when is the time to consider the environment? Yes. If you'd like that download, say yes. And so I'm really excited to invite you, if you've watched this video, is Barbaric Babe movement. There is a one-time collaboration class with Hannah Taylor, who is a genius with relationship technology, boundaries, communication, and I bring in the play technology, like how to play with life in that way. So we're actually doing a one-time call taster of what Barbaric Babe is on the 9th of the 9th of September. Yeah, 9/9. And then it will be a taster for a longer journey, which will be a month container, Barbaric Babe. Men and women are welcome, whatever your sexual orientation is, because we each have feminine, masculine inside us. And also men who feel like they're fully men are also more than welcome to be a support and anchor to this process and witness the woman. It will be really medicinal to you as well, and also for the woman to be witnessed. So this is not a container that is only for women. And that container is starting the 18th of September. And so if you're interested in signing up for the one-time class, which is on 9/9, then that's in my Linktree. You can find it in the description box. It's probably the first button, a sign up button. And if you'd like information, I am creating a subscription list this week, mailing list. But for now, just email me at quantumplayacademy@gmail.com, which you can also find in the description, where then I'll be able to send you the information on the longer journey. There is an early bird for the longer journey until 9/11. And also, if you sign up for the longer month journey, then you'll get the pop-up class with me and Hannah for free as a gift. So a little about the container is my favorite way to journey with groups is to meet once a week for a live call, and then we have a support chat where we integrate how things are shifting in our daily life when we're playing with new ways of being, having that support cocoon. So there's that chat room, and there are weekly live calls, and there's an also super, super special to have a one-on-one deep dive with me while being in this journey for a super, like, discounted rate. So if you're curious, again, just email me, and sending you so much love, and yeah, just blessing you that you feel supported, that you feel trust that everything has a perfect time, that you don't need to be in control, that you're safe to feel everything you're feeling, and that it's all going to be okay, and that you're not in it alone. Definitely not. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing your sacred attention here, which is the most valuable currency on the planet. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Bye.